Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Chevy Suburban Z71. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larich Miller Chevy here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this SUV. I'm going to include a link to the website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3-liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 18 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, I love this color. I think it's sterling gray. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's sterling gray. Looks really cool with the body lines. And then popping down below, you got the Suburban signature headlight design. It's also shared with the Tahoe. And then I like how the Z71 package blacks everything out. You got the Z71 badge off to the side. Tow hooks here at the bottom, and you guys can see with the skid plate protection. And putting it all together, this basically looks like a Raptor SUV. I know that Chevy doesn't make a Raptor, but you get the point. Now around the side here, our steering wheel setup is 275/60/20 in the front and over in the rear. You can see with the wheels, you've got the silver mixed with the metallic gray and nice all-terrain tires with this package. You guys can see with the fender how that kind of pokes a bit. Got the Z71 badge, Suburban down below. And then notice how all the window trim's blacked out. And then here's our full side view with this Suburban Z71. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function, remote start, we got the opening for the hatch and then just for the window, and then the Chevy bow tie in the back. And this right here is why you get the Suburban over the Tahoe. There is a ton of storage space behind the third row, and you can see more storage underneath. We have these buttons right here, so that folds down the second row. This raises or lowers the third row, so it's cool that it's automatic with that. But yeah, I mean, that is the definition of spacious. When you're all done, just press this button, and it'll lower the hatch right back down. Love the taillight design here. I think it looks really sharp. Parking sensors here at the bottom. You guys can see again the badges are all blacked out, and then you got a bezel that covers the receiver hitch. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the overall design here with the Suburban. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see soft touch here, and then look at the trim that goes across, and then more soft touch down below. And then one of the speakers for the Bose sound system. And then this one has the bench seat configuration, but also easy to clean seats. That's the thing about the Z71 package that's really cool. And if I pull this, see, it moves the seat forward. That makes accessing the third row super easy. Again, you've got 3 more seats, so this has 8 seats total. That is crazy. But again, same easy to clean design. When it comes to space there in the back, I've gotten in the back of many a Suburban over time. You can very comfortably fit adults back there. That's one of the big benefits of this size of SUV. And as for the second row, you guys can see legroom's great. Got a little storage pocket, got some cup holders, our own climate zone, heated seats, we've got USBs, all of that, and we have a cup holder armrest set up. And then last but not least, headroom. It's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, again, soft touch here, and then look at the trim, and then also down below. It has a very tight feel to it. We've got our memory seat function. All of our window controls, front to automatic, mirror adjustments, the mirrors do power fold in, blind spot running with the mirrors. Speaker for the Bose sound system, and then 1,668 pounds of payload. Well, that's impressive. Gross vehicle weight rating 7,700, well above the tax write-off limit. And then you guys can see conventional towing's 8,000. Easy to clean design here with the front seats. You've got the adjustments on the side, and then we've got a bunch of controls here. So parking brake, lane departure, stability control, parking sensors, hill descent control, auto stop start, 360 camera system, your drive line select, your drive mode select. You've got that for the light controls, trailer brake controls, and then the steering wheel is power adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. We also have our radio controls on the back. We've got controls here for the center stack, heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, and then we've got our turn signal windshield wiper stock. Big digital gauge cluster here in the center, which we can use to see different bits of info on systems within the Suburban. And then we do have our drive modes. So we've got a sport, an off-road, a tow haul mode, normal mode, pretty standard. Now we do have a 360 camera system, so you can see out of every single angle here with the vehicle. Definitely a great system, good resolution as well. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, shortcut bar here on the side. Easy to use, and again, good response time overall. It looks like it's lagging a little bit there though. We do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Soft touch all over the dash, which I think looks great, and then you can see more down below. And then look at this little thing that pulls back for storage. Hazard light button randomly. And then we do have our little gear selector with all these little pull tabs. Interesting, that's for sure. And then down below you can see our analog controls for the radio, climate controls below that. We have heated seats with this as well. And then our charging area. Some cup holders, and then you can see with the center console, good storage, USBs, all of that. And then with the glove box, yeah, pretty spacious. And then up top we got our controls here for like the seats and everything. No sunroof with this one. Now here's a window sticker for this 2024 Suburban. You guys can see all the standard equipment. And by the way, got the premium smooth ride suspension. Funny. $69,300 is the base MSRP. We've got a few options added to this one. Total MSRP $74,285. Wow. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before you set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors. Do a blind spot monitoring for the rest of the rear, and pull tab away. So I just did a Tahoe Z71, but I figured the Suburban Z71 is always worth a go because this is the most/least practical off-roader, and we'll explain that in today's video. But first, setting off, really comfortable. I just drove a Wagoneer before this. It was a Carbide edition, and I was talking about how, like, you know, Jeep reduced the Wagoneer pricing, so it made it seem more reasonable. And then I looked at the MSRP on this thing, and this is still like quite a bit less expensive than that Wagoneer. Now that Wagoneer did have some features this one doesn't have, like it had a double sunroof setup and it had cooled seats. But even then, I mean, I feel like you can still get a Tahoe or Suburban for less money. So it seems like even with their completely unrelated, but with their price decreases, this is still more affordable, which makes it a lot more appealing, because money matters, folks. So ride quality is, it's good. It's comfortable, very comfortable. It is a big beast, but it's, you know, it's similar to, you just feel like you're kind of driving a full-size pickup truck when you drive a Suburban. So if you're used to that, but having like a little bit of a better turning radius because this has independent front rear suspension, it's kind of a good way to look at it. Now power, pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. It moves. It moves. Now some other stuff, you know, seat comfort's good. I think they've done a good job with this overall setup. We'll go over some bumps in the parking lot, kind of see how that feels. I know not the best test, but you know, gotta make do with what we have. And yeah, so here's kind of like the first one. Yeah, I like that. I think they did a good job with the suspension damping on this. Yeah, it's pretty good. So most practical, least practical off-roader. It's the least practical off-roader because it's a freaking Suburban. This thing's massive, right? So when it comes to like breakover angle, departure angle, not necessarily going, the approach angle is actually not too bad on this, but yeah, those two angles not necessarily gonna be the best. So like, yeah, there's a lot of trails that this isn't really gonna fit because it's a big vehicle. So that's where the least practical part comes in. The most practical comes into the space. Like, you could live in this thing, right? It's basically like it's not quite an RV, right? Because it doesn't have like a bathroom and all that kind of stuff, but it's almost like an RV in a way. And I can use a reflection in that to see. Boom, perfect. So yeah, super practical with the space. And so I guess you guys might be wondering, why the heck would Chevy make a Z71 in a Suburban? Like, it doesn't make, like, if you want to make an off-roader, make it smaller, all that kind of stuff. And here's what I have to say is, there's a lot of people that just want like a decent amount of off-road capability because they live in a rural area, or, you know, they go on camping trails that aren't super right, that, like on an off-road difficulty scale, they're like a 1 or 2 out of 10 where you're on a dirt road, and it's like, yeah, you don't really need a bunch of off-road kit, but you know, for peace of mind, it's nice to have some all-terrain tires. It's nice to have a little bit of ground clearance, so in case you have to go over a rock or a big bump and all that kind of stuff. So that's where this applies. And then also, you know, this is going to do better, you know, in the snow and everything because of those all-terrain tires. So that's something else that people take into consideration. Let me know what you guys think about the Suburban Z71, and let me know if you like this more than that off-road Wagoneer I recently reviewed, and then also the Ford Expedition Timberline.